And we got some good information there. I'd like to move into the portion of our meeting, and Marie Crivello has asked me to introduce her. So Marie Crivello and Nathan Rogue from California. Marie is a senior managing director of the Bank of Southern California. She joined the company in 2012 and is responsible for sourcing new business opportunities in the greater San Diego region with a focus on commercial banking clients. Marie has 7 years of banking experience covering underwriting, financial analysis, consumer and commercial lending, private banking, and more. Marie holds a bachelor's degree from California Polytech State University, San Luis Obispo, and a master's in accounting and finance from the University of San Diego. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marie Crivello and Nathan Rogue.
Thanks, Vicki. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, execs. I'm Marie Crivello with Bank of Southern California. Now I'll go ahead and share my screen now. Can everybody see this okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So our bank president and CEO, Nathan Rogge, he's the exec, unfortunately could not make it today to our concentration, and he does apologize, and so he created a video for execs, and so I'll start off with a video from Nathan.
If we could get the volume on that, Marie.
Marie, you have to unshare and then reshare, but check share computer sound. You have to unshare everything and reshare. Unshare your screen, close the share, and then reshare, but make sure you check the box that says play computer sound.
Okay, hold on a second.
One of the things I love about this last year is we're all learning to be just slightly more patient with each other, which is good.
So now,
so Robert, can you say that one more time? I unshared. Now you said reshare.
Reshare. There is a little box to check on the bottom of the screen that says share computer sound. Make sure you check that box, and then we'll hear everything.
Okay.
Also make sure you do presentation mode, because you were in the
you were in preview mode instead of presentation mode. So if you want to put it in presentation mode, that'd be great too.
Is that through PowerPoint or is it on through Zoom?
That's through PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The little button right at the bottom, very, very, very bottom, there's a little screen. If you just click on that, right there, yes, click on that.
Okay, can everybody see now?
Did you share the video or share the audio?
Yes, well, I checked the box.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm missing today, particularly for Bank of Southern California's concentration, but I'm sure Marie will do better than I would do anyway. The bank has been really busy. We've recently opened 4 new locations in the Los Angeles market and hired over 40 people. And so that's kept me in the Los Angeles and Orange County markets for most of my time. I look forward over the next few months when things settle down and I'm able to come back to execs and spend some time with you. So sorry I'm missing this afternoon, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
All right, so hopefully Nathan will be able to join us as we get back to the in-person meeting shortly. So a little bit about the presentation that I'll be presenting today for execs. I'll do a brief introduction on myself. I'll do an overview of Bank of Southern California, and I'm going to spend more detail going over some of the banking solutions from the deposit and the lending side that we offer. So a little bit about myself. I know Vicki mentioned, but I did go to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo and got my bachelor's in accounting and finance. I originally thought that I wanted to become a CPA. And after school, I moved down to San Diego since my family lives here, and I started working at San Diego National Bank, which was a wonderful community bank. They were the bank with like 28 branches in San Diego with the big whale murals. And I was having a great time. I started off in the branch. I then went up to consumer lending and started underwriting and processing consumer loans. And then I got moved over to the commercial group. And I decided to go back to school at night at University of San Diego and get my master's in accounting and finance. Because in the future, I thought, well, maybe then I'll go become a CPA. But I actually decided that I was having so much fun in commercial banking. I was getting to learn, a little bit about all these different industries. I was able to form relationships with my business clients and help them with their expansion and additional financing needs. And it was a lot of fun. And so I ended up staying as a commercial banker, and I'm so glad that I did. San Diego National Bank was shut down in 2009 during the downturn, and we were acquired by US Bank. And so I stayed on with US Bank for a couple of years and got some great experience with big banks, and learned quickly that it just wasn't a good fit for me. It was frustrating at times trying to help clients that had needs, and there were so many different departments and so many different time zones and so many different 800 numbers. It was really hard for me to service my client needs being at a bigger institution. And so when the opportunity came to me to go back into community banking, I jumped on it. So I've been with Bank of Southern California for over 8.5 years. It's definitely a great fit for me. The bank is growing and expanding, and there's lots of good things coming up for the bank. And so I definitely know that I'm in a good place. So moving on, kid pictures. This is my family. My husband Sal works in sales for Pacific Mobile. We have a 7-year-old son, Anthony, and I am so happy to announce that today was his first day back of in-person school. So San Diego Unified finally opened, and he's been doing distance learning for over a year. And today was his first day back for live instruction in the first grade. So I'm really excited for him. He was really excited to go back. He plays baseball at Tecolote. So I'm there most weekends and one day during the week watching him play baseball, which is a lot of fun. Our daughter is Gianna, and she's 4. She's at preschool, so she'll start kindergarten next year, which we're excited about. And then, as most of you know, we had a new addition in 2020. Baby Dominic was born in August. He is now almost 8 months. He has 6 teeth, and so he's been getting up quite a bit at night, and I'm dealing with the teething baby right now. But those are my 3 lovely kids, and on the weekends, you will find us out exploring San Diego. We live in Mission Hills, and so we're really close to, the Bay, Balboa Park, the zoo. We are always biking or hiking or scootering our way around San Diego. My goal is to tire the kids out, so then hopefully I can get a nice little break in the evening once I go to sleep. So now moving on to the overview of Bank of Southern California. So the last couple of years, the bank has been able to experience a tremendous amount of growth. We were able to successfully complete the acquisition of America's United Bank up in Los Angeles in 2018. And then last year in 2020, we successfully completed the acquisition of CalWest Bank, which was up in Orange County. The bank also expanded the executive management team and board of directors. So all of our executives used to sit at our Delmar headquarters office, which is where I office, and that's where Nathan offices. But last year they added a couple of people to the executive team. And so now we do have a couple of executives out of our LA market. The bank has also strategically expanded to Los Angeles and Orange County and the surrounding markets to really go into the full name of Bank of Southern California. Now we have over 15 branches all over Los Angeles, Orange, San Diego, as well as Coachella Valley. The bank is also further building out their infrastructure to support our growth. And so they've hired, as you saw in the video, over 40 people recently to help build and develop our support staff. And so that includes loan processors, loan underwriters, new branch staff, central services, of course, all of the PPP team as well. And so there's been a lot of new hires to help support that growth at Bank of Southern California. And also Nathan was very successful in raising $115 million in capital since 2011. The bank has received numerous distinctions and awards. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I do want to mention that last year, Nathan did win the CEO of the Year by the San Diego Business Journal, which was very exciting. So a full year in Q4 of 2020 highlights. So the bank was able to complete a reorganization of the company into Southern California Bancorp, which is our holding company. We successfully completed the acquisition of CalWest Bank. We originated over 558 million PPP loans, and we're still going. So the second round of PPP is still going on. The extension date was pushed out to May 31st. And so we're still helping clients who haven't applied yet with the second round. We are also had a record annual revenue of $45.9 million. The bank's total assets increased to $1.6 billion. The total loans increased to $1.2 billion. Total deposits increased to $1.2 billion. And we've always continued to have our status as a very well-capitalized bank, which is the highest regulatory category. So lots of growth and lots of success recently for Bank of Southern California. I'll go over some of the competitive advantages, especially since I did come from a big bank, so I can understand how some big banks operate at times. So in my opinion, some of the competitive advantages that we offer is, one, the customer experience. We always try to take the time to listen and ask questions of our clients and our prospects. We focus on helping clients' businesses grow. We offer a wide variety of different lending solutions to help them with that I'm going to go over in further detail in a moment. We always try to be accessible, flexible, and responsive. So as an example, on my business card, on my signature line, there's my cell phone number. I have clients that prefer to call, text, email, whatever their main form of communication is works for me. I just want to be accessible to them for whatever works. So oftentimes I get emails in the middle of the night. I'm not always replying to them, but I go first thing in the morning. And so whatever works best for my clients works best for me, and I'm happy to be available to them. We also offer customized solutions. So we offer products and services that are specific to small businesses and professionals, and we try to solve problems and be their trusted advisors. So obviously we have a credit policy that we want all of our loans to fit in, but if there is a policy exception, we can make that at times when it makes sense, when there's strengths of the deal that we can use to mitigate the policy exception, for example. So it really is nice to be able to work for a bank that we do offer customized solutions. It's just not a black and white. There's a lot of gray area with us because we do look at the overall picture. We also offer streamlined interactions. So we're focused, fast, and efficient. We offer focused, fast, and efficient interactions with real bankers who are empowered to make decisions. And we're flexible and innovative solutions tailored to the customer's needs. So that kind of goes back to, we have local decision makers here in San Diego. I know exactly who to contact should I need something for a client. It's great that I work at the headquarters office because I can easily, walk down the hall, speak to an underwriter, for example, if they're working on a request, or a loan processor, or actually go directly to Nathan or the chief credit officer to discuss a particular request, an exception, something along those lines. It's easy to be able to get back to clients quickly when everybody is local and in-house. And lastly, one of our competitive advantages is our people. We truly have seasoned bankers with an average of 24 years of experience who are engaged with the proven ability to execute to plan. And next, I will go over in detail some of the banking solutions that we provide to our customers and prospects. So first, I'll talk about our deposit products. Bank of Southern California offers several different business checking accounts, personal checking accounts, as well as money market accounts and CDs for all of our clients and business owners. Typically, when I have a new client that's interested in moving to Bank of Southern California, I ask for a couple of months worth of their existing bank statements. So that way it gives me a good understanding of what their average balances look like, what the transactions that they normally complete on their account look like, and then I can suggest which account at Bank of Southern California would suit them best. One of the beauties about Bank of Southern California is we offer a 50 basis points earnings credit rate. And for those of you who aren't familiar, there's a type of business checking account called account analysis. And you are able to earn earnings credits on your average balances. It's not interest, but you can earn earnings credits based on your average balances, and then you get to use those earnings credits to offset service fees. So businesses that send wires, send ACH, have business payment automation, for example, those are all treasury services that banks charge for. And clients that have account analysis with us, they earn a higher earnings credit to offset those fees. So that means that businesses that bank with us typically pay less for all of their treasury services compared to any other bank in town. So there are times when I've had clients move over and I'm literally able to save them thousands of dollars a month just by banking with us because of our higher earnings credit rate. On top of that, we don't charge for some treasury services like other banks. And so oftentimes there's savings for moving to Bank of Southern California on the regular standard service fees. On top of that, we offer a higher earnings credit rate than most banks in town at 50 basis points. So it can amount to a huge amount of savings for particular clients that have account analysis. Also, most of our clients bank from their office. So we have all the technology where customers use to bank from their office. So through online banking, clients can send out wire requests, they can send out ACH, they can obviously review all of their balances. Even if they have different businesses and personal, we can customize their online banking platform where they can see everything and make transfers in between. Some of the treasury services that we offer include online banking and bill pay. We also have a mobile app where clients can do their banking from their cell phone, including taking deposits and depositing checks to their accounts from their cell phone. We also offer a remote deposit capture, which is a scanner that we can set up at a client's office where they can make their own check deposits from their office. So that saves a lot of time from a client or one of their employees. They don't have to endorse the checks. They don't have to fill out a deposit ticket. They don't have to drive to the bank, wait in line and submit the deposit that way. They can just scan all of the checks through the scanner. It takes an electronic image and it's deposited that evening. We also offer electronic cash vault and courier service. So clients that have a lot of cash needs, we set them up with courier service. So that way an armored courier truck can go out to their location to pick up their cash or drop off their change requests. And then that way they don't have to bring it to a branch and we don't have to manually process all of their cash needs. We've got services to help with that and set them up for courier service. We also offer and process our own lockbox processing. So one of our branches out in the desert actually handles our lockbox for us. And so it's kind of unique that a bank actually has their own lockbox processing service, and we do. So that's been great. We also offer business payment automation. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a program that automates your accounts payable process. So companies that have a large amount of accounts payable, we have a program that we can implement that really automates that process, and it automatically reports to their accounting system. So you can eliminate that double entry, and you can set it up where, depending upon if there's a review person and then somebody else who has to approve the accounts payable, we can set it all up electronically where the invoice comes in and you scan it into the system. It reads the information. You can then submit it to whomever needs to actually approve the invoice. And then you can select if payment should go out on a certain date, and if you want it to go out either electronically through ACH or by physically cutting and mailing a check, and then the bank takes care of that for the client. So it's a great program. A lot of customers are wanting to proceed with that solution because it saves so much time and energy on the accounts payable process. So next I'm going to go over in further detail some of the lending programs that we offer. So the first is the SBA Express Loan program. I do want to mention that Bank of Southern California is a preferred SBA lender. So we do process a lot of SBA requests. It's not everything that we do. We do a lot of traditional conventional loans as well that I'm going to go over in a minute. But I do want to mention we're a preferred lender. That means that we've done enough SBA where the SBA doesn't re-underwrite our deals. We just have to send it to them for an approval, but we get the approvals back within 24 hours. So it's great that we have that preferred lender status, because it's not that much extra time to get an approval from the SBA if you work with a preferred lender. So one of the programs the SBA offers is an Express Loan program, which it used to have a maximum of loan size of $350,000, but when the pandemic happened, the SBA actually increased the maximum loan size to $1 million, and that is good through September 30th of 2021. So the SBA Express product is great because it's a quick turnaround time. It's less underwriting than some of the larger requests. And you can use this program for either a line of credit for working capital needs or a term loan for more permanent working capital needs. So if we ever have a client that's interested in a loan, I always take the time to kind of discuss what the needs are. I understand a little bit more about the company initially to figure out whether or not they'd be eligible for traditional conventional financing or if they prefer the SBA route. And then we can start collecting financials and working on the pre-approval for them. The next SBA program I'm going to go over today is the SBA 7A program. That has a cap up to $5 million in eligibility or in loan size. And then for eligibility, the business must operate as a for-profit company and meet the SBA size standards. So some of the features of the 7A product is that it provides more flexible terms than conventional loan options. For example, with the 7A, we can go out to a 10-year term, where for a lot of the below purposes, on a conventional loan, meaning without the SBA, we would only be able to go out 5 years. So there's a lot of benefit with going through the SBA programs as you get a longer term. And you can use the program for a variety of different uses. So for example, startup expenses. We don't typically go after startup companies, but if we get referred to startup companies, we can consider financing their requests. Oftentimes, as you know, startups are more risky, and so it is projection-based, but we'll look for outside collateral to get us comfortable. So if the owner has, previous experience, previous track record in a successful similar type of industry and business, we'll consider the request if perhaps we could take, a second or third lien on real estate or a margin account to get comfortable with the collateral that's available. Then we can consider startup expense loans through the SBA program. We'll also consider working capital needs through the SBA program. So anything for a line of credit or more permanent working capital, we'd probably put on a term loan. But we really look at what the customer needs and then we customize from there. Some of the term loans I offer for permanent working capital, I give them like a 12-month interest-only draw period as they're growing and expanding and acquiring. And then the loan amount will be automatically termed out over the remaining term after that 1-year kind of draw period. We can also use the 7A program for inventory purchases, machinery and equipment purchases, furniture and fixtures. We also do a lot of business acquisition loans. And so more recently, I think because of the pandemic, there have been customers, or I should say business owners, trying to exit the industry and sell their company. And so I've had a lot of clients that have seen an opportunity to grow and expand their business through acquisition. And so we can finance up to 90% of the purchase price for acquisitions through the SBA 7A program, which means the client only has to put 10% cash down. So it's a great program, and then you get the 10-year amortization, which really helps with cash flow. So we've been doing quite a few business acquisition loans this year through the SBA program. Also, we can buy out partners, and so if there is a company, for example, owns 50-50 and one of the partners wants to retire, we can help finance that acquisition for the remaining buyer. They'll also do the real estate purchases on the 7A program. Now that is a 25-year loan. And so if anybody has some questions specific to real estate, there's the 2 different programs the SBA offers, which allows up to 90% LTV on real estate acquisitions. There's the 7A program and then the 504 program. There's pros and cons to each, and so I really like to, again, talk to customers to figure out what their long-term plans are with the building and kind of go over the benefits about each of the programs, and then they can determine what program might be the best. I do want to mention that the SBA has waived their guarantee fees through September, which is a really big deal because they typically charge 3 to 3.75% in an SBA guarantee fee. that has been waived. And so a lot of customers have had an interest in SBA financing right now, trying to meet that deadline before September. So if you or anybody you know is interested in some of these lending programs, please feel free to reach out. And next, I'm going to go over some of our conventional loan products. And there we go. So outside of SBA, we do a lot of what we call traditional conventional loan programs. So one of them, for example, conventional loan products are lines of credits. We offer all sorts of different sizes of lines of credits for primarily working capital needs. Typically lines below $1 million, we'll just look at annually. And so we provide a 12-month term, and then we look at the lines for renewal every single year. Typically lines above $1 million, we call them asset-based lines of credits, where we monitor them monthly or quarterly based upon their eligible accounts receivables or inventory. So we have clients with very large lines of credits that are multi-million that we review monthly on a borrowing base. We also offer all kinds of different term loans. So really, business may need to finance, we have a home for. Typically, I see term loans for either debt refinance, equipment, or permanent working capital. So some customers, when maybe they haven't been able to have a great relationship with their previous bank and they didn't know where to turn, they've gone out and gotten multiple, what I call more hard money or bridge financing types of loans, where the interest rates are extremely high, the terms are not favorable, and then they finally get introduced to someone like me, for example, that I can go in and I can look at the whole picture. And I could say, what if we take out all of these smaller lenders that are charging you, really high interest rates and non-favorable terms? Perhaps I'd have to have an SBA loan. Perhaps we could do it conventionally. But if we were to wrap up all your existing debt into one loan and reduce your payments and spread out the terms, look how much we would be able to save you. Look at what your cash flow would increase to. And so those are the types of term loans that we typically offer. We also offer conventional real estate loans. And so for a real estate loan without the SBA, we will typically lend up to 65% loan to value on an investment building and 75% loan to value on an owner occupied building. Now, obviously that's much less than the SBA because we get the guarantee of the SBA, which makes it less risky, and we can go up to a higher LTV of 90% with the SBA program. But without the SBA, we're at 65 or 75% loan to value on commercial real estate acquisitions or refinances. And we also offer a lot of construction loans. And so we've been doing a lot of development lately. I primarily do multifamily construction, some large spec home construction at times, and we'll do commercial construction as well. So if it's a business that's building a building that they're going to occupy, it will qualify for SBA. And so then we'll have more options to offer, either a conventional construction loan or an SBA construction loan. If it's any sort of investment, then the only construction options are our conventional options. But we have been seeing an increase in development recently, and so I've been doing more construction loans than usual. We also offer investor credit lines. And so this is kind of a unique product that not every bank offers. And so this is also one of the reasons kind of sets Bank of Southern California apart. We can offer pretty large, $5–10 million guidance line facilities. And so I work with a lot of investors in town that love these guidance line facilities because we will approve them based on their historical reoccurring cash flow. So that way, when they find their next acquisition, we can close very quickly. All they have to do is provide me with a purchase agreement. We order a quick appraisal, and then we're able to fund and close through escrow, typically in 10 to 15 days, which is very fast for any sort of commercial or multifamily type of property. And they use our guidance lines basically as bridge debt to get them to acquire the property. And then they will rehab it, they'll stabilize it, and then they'll either sell it or refinance it to pay back the advance on their guidance line. So it is a product that I help clients with often, especially being in San Diego with a lot of real estate investors in town. It is great that we have these unique products to help them. And since all of our processing is local, they love working with Bank of Southern California, because if they sell a home and they need it reconveyed, it's easy to deal with a local bank that has local processors that I could literally walk across the hall and just say, hey, this is kind of a rush. My client's selling this property, or, you know, my client's buying this property. I need to order an appraisal today. Can you please get this out? It's just great being able to deal with all the processors internally here in San Diego, so I can move quickly to accomplish my client goals. And then next, we also offer home equity lines of credit. So it's the one consumer product that we offer. We do not offer first mortgages like John, but we do offer home equity lines of credit. And so I got a referral on Friday from someone because they were looking for $1 million HELOC. And they couldn't find another bank in town because a lot of other programs out there, they cap their HELOC amounts. This one particular individual said that she couldn't find a HELOC amount over $250,000. So with Bank of Southern California, we portfolio everything. And so again, we can kind of look at what the purpose is for, customize a solution. But if an individual has enough equity in their home to qualify for a $1 million home equity line of credit, we will definitely consider that request. We'll go up to 75% loan to value in a second position or first position if they happen to own the home free and clear on a home equity line of credit. And a lot of my clients that get HELOCs, they use them for business or investment purposes. If we qualify you for a HELOC, it's a 25-year loan. It's a 10-year interest-only revolving period, and then a 15-year fully term out at the end. And the advances aren't monitored, and so you can use the funds as you please. And then next, we do a lot of equipment loans as well. So a lot of my customers, they either buy large pieces of equipment that are very costly, or they buy large trucks that are very costly, for example. So I can do multi-million-dollar equipment lines where typically I set them up with a 12-month interest-only draw period, where they have 12 months to buy as much equipment as needed. And then after that 12 months, once the line is ideally fully advanced, it then automatically turns out over the remaining 5 years of the loan. So again, I always try to discuss what the client's needs are up front and then come up with a customized solution that's going to fit their needs. And lastly, I do want to mention, as I said, we are a preferred SBA lender, and we offer the 7(a) or the 504 on real estate transactions as well. So next, I'm going to go over just a couple of examples of featured transactions. We do help a lot of nonprofits in town, and so these particular customers obviously gave me the okay to share their name. But we have worked with several nonprofits in town, and we can do a variety of different lending for these nonprofits. Nonprofits are harder to lend to, for those of you that aren't aware, because they typically come with no personal guarantees. And so with nonprofits, we just have to get a little bit more creative in our lending solutions. But for example, we can work with nonprofits. We've done commercial real estate refinances. We've offered lines of credits to nonprofits. And then last example is kind of like our ideal client. The type of customer who we ideally want to help is a business owner that operates his own business, that owns his own building that he operates out of, because we can provide them with all of their building financing solutions. We can provide them with all of their business financing needs, including working capital lines of credit, or term loans for any sort of permanent working capital or equipment financing. And a client that obviously has all of their business and personal accounts with Bank of Southern California. That's really the type of target market that we go after. Obviously, we're a business bank and we focus on business owners. And so that was just kind of an example of the types of customers who we typically try to focus on. And that's it for today. So I just really want to say thank you to you all for all of your support. For those of you that bank with us, we really appreciate the support, and all of those PPP customers that we were able to help, we were happy to do so. And I'll open it up if there are any questions for me this afternoon.